Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good morning everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Zelika Mulya Permai from Raden Intan State Islamic University. I'm here and now I want to do a seminar simulation to fulfill the seminar course in language teaching. Okay, let's just get started. Here, I will present and explain and describe the proposal that I have designed and that have been done with me. The title is a multimodal discourse analysis of the interpersonal meaning of a neo-coffee mochaccino advertisement in Indonesia television. The researchers choose this title because this title is very interesting because it is related to semiotic and to add to the contribution in the research about multimodal. So let's get started. Okay, the first is background of the research. Background of the research. Discourse analysis was born because there was dissatisfactions with formal structural linguistic understanding, which tends to be more focused on micro units of the linguistic system, such as affix, words, phrase, clauses, and sentences, and pays less attention to the context of language use. Meanwhile, meaning often cannot be understood comprehensively in words, clauses, or sentences that are separate from the context. Discourse is usually done in games, movie, news elements, pictures, music, fashions, and everything related to the interaction with the human condition. Semiotic research and modes are communicated in discourse also. All these aspects can be studied or analyzed using multi-capital. In recent era, multimodality also applies in image, children books, match, television advertisement, and so forth. This is according to Press and Van Leeuwen theory. Every aspect will certainly provide interpersonal meaning because humans experience it different due to level communication activity formed by their ideology and power relation. Start from Lee in 2016 from social media semiotic explained that interpersonal meaning is defined as a substitution of language clauses, which is one of meta function of language. There are three the part of language clauses interacting to each other. Those are speaker, audience, and writer. Speaker and writer can be represented by advertiser, and audience may be represented by the consumer. The medium of interaction between speaker and audience is interpersonal meaning. Press and Lewin investigate more detail to reveal the concept of interpersonal meaning based on multimodal perspective. It includes move, image, sounds, like speech and music. This investigation result is claimed as a foundation of interpersonal meaning. Interpersonal meaning is substituted and delivered by some meaning sources. It can be image duration and perspective, rhyme, and action because there is a specific aspect in interpersonal meaning. The audience gain the meaning from a product or another semiotic research. All attribute provides the interpersonal meaning for the audience. So nowadays, entertainment is very accessible, such as movie, music, or similar video like that. A streaming film or television media must design innovative advertising product to communicate a message or meaning to the public by using appropriate language for relevant image or using symbol music to convince people to use the application, informing someone by drawing attention, um, or notifying someone is the meaning of advertising. Promotion is one way in a business. One form of promotion is third advertising. With promotions, third advertising will increase a business progress. One of the tasks that have the complexity of meaning is a good advertisement print media. Advertisement as well as media advertisement electronic. The complexity of meaning is due to convey the message in the ad, not only use language element, but also element of nonverbal language and other visual meaning. Therefore, to understand the complexity of meaning, it is necessary to do deep multimodal analysis of the ad. A good advertisement is an advertisement that conveys the connotation precisely. It is evidenced by the advertisement, multimodal feature, and the use of semiotic research, language, image, sound, and color. In the perspective of discourse analysis, verbal and visual elements are used in analyzing advertisement using a multimodal approach. Multimodal analysis including analysis of kinds of communication that have text interaction and integration of two or more semiotic sources or means communication to achieve functions communicative of the text. Advertisement as an example of this course can generally be separated into the three broad groups: print advertisement, like a magazine, newspaper, and the other print advertisement. Audio and audiovisual, like a TV and internet. Advertisement, according to Halliday, system functional linguistic theory is the basis of multimodal research, mainly focusing on conceptual meaning. Halliday used the term its social semiotic justified both the conceptual function, a function of demonstrating the world around and within us, and the interpersonal function, a function of social communication as social relative. In the multimodal analysis, it is identified that our text as now as multimodal if the text is formed from a combination of two or other semiotic systems. There are 5 types of multimodal semiotic system in a text according to Bull and Anstey in 2010. Linguistic, vocabulary, grammar, and generic structure of written and spoken language. Visual, factor, color, and point of view instill a moving image. Audio, like a tone, volume, and rhyme of music and sounds effect. Gestural, like a movement, speed, and silence in facial expression and body language, and the spatial, like proximity, directions, layout position, and object organization in space. Based on the description above, the author interests and have an idea in analyzing advertising in electronic media, namely television. The advertisement that will be analyzed is Neo Coffee Mochaccino The analysis will describe the multimodal section contained in the advertisement section. Okay, the next is formulation of the problems. Here we have a 5 formulation of the problem that will be answered and will be analyzed in this research. First is there a multimodal semiotic system in Neo Coffee Mochaccino Indonesian television advertisement? How is the interpersonal meaning of speech and music convey and interact in the television advertising? How is the interpersonal meaning of movement convey and interact in the television advertising? How is the interpersonal meaning of image convey and interact in the television advertisement? Is the message comprehensive and easy to understand by the audience? The next is objective of the research. Okay, the objective that will be conducted in my research is first to see what multimodal in the Neo Coffee Mochaccino in Indonesia advertisement. Two, to know what interpersonal meaning of speech and music interact in the advertisement. Three, to know how interpersonal meaning of movement in the television advertising. Four, to know what is interpersonal meaning of image in the television advertising. And the last but not least, to know what the message are easy to understand by the audience. Okay, the next is we will be explain about scope of the research. The subject of the research was to find a multimodal discourse analysis of the interpersonal meaning of a Neo Cafe Mochaccino advertisement in Indonesia television. And the object this study is Neo Cafe Mochaccino in Indonesia TV advertisement. The research using theory from Kress and Van Leeuwen in 2006 theory to describe interpersonal meaning in the advertisement. Okay, the next is formulation of the problem. Formulation of the limitation of the problem. Limitation of the problem based on the identification of the problem. The researchers limit the problem to find and describe the multimodal discourse analysis of interpersonal meaning in Neo Cafe Mochaccino in Indonesia TV advertisement. The next is benefit of the research. Theoretically, this study aimed to give some contribution to social semiotic studies, television or video advertising. And practically, this research benefit is for students. This study is to understand meaning or message conveyed in different ways simultaneously, namely through text and image. The next is the benefit is this study is supposed to increase knowledge, the term of dynamic discourse as a context and finding of a development of linguistic multimodal discourse analysis and semiotic research for study for students or students in college. For lecture, this research is to contribute to the lecture examination of multimodal discourse as part of the discourse study. And the last is research. This research also help in practice to improve language awareness among the readers, particularly the students. Okay, the next is related previous research. Research on multimodal analysis is very interesting. Recently, there are several studies on multimodal which are related to the study that has been conducted. First, Ansari and Taupan in 2019. The main focus of their research aimed to explore the conceptual and symbolic meaning of a promotional video, Wonderful Indonesia, by applying the systemic functional linguistic and visual grammar framework proposed by Kress and Van Leeuwen in 2006. Meanwhile, this paper explored multimodal and focused on Kress and Van Leeuwen theory and Bull, G, and Anstey in 2010 theory. The related study, the next is from that has been conducted by Hidayat in 2019. Discuss a multimodal discourse analysis of UC 1000 on Indonesia television advertisement that focus on interpersonal meaning. This paper analyzed multimodal that focus on semiotic system by using Bull and Anstey theory and Van Leeuwen theory and systemic functional linguistic theory by Halliday. And the next is the research that has been conducted by Rahmawati and Sinar, entitled Multimodal Analysis on Sprite Advertisement. The study aimed to examine the multimodal analysis of sprite ads and aim to see what multimodal is in the advertisement. The theory used in this study is a semiotic approach related to a multimodal system which include linguistic, visual audio, gestural, and spatial aspect. The data are video made in Indonesia and are 30 seconds long. Video are analyzed based on the 5 multimodal semiotic system to understand and investigate the multi-mode of communication within them. Conclusion in this research is sprite advertisement covers and 5 multimodal semiotic system such as linguistic, visual, audio, gestural, and spatial. The 5 semiotic system blend into one value of bright advertisement. The fourth, based on previous research that has been conducted by the other researchers, the writer will conduct a discourse analysis research with a similar term, but with a different detail variable. This is gap that will differently the other research with the writer research. The research that will be conducted is entitled A Multimodal Discourse Analysis of the Interpersonal Meaning of a Neo Cafe Mochaccino Advertisement in Indonesia Television. This research will be conducted qualitatively using case study to check how different semiotic and modes such as music, sound, speech, color, action, and image work together to build interpersonal meaning. The study discussed the interpersonal meaning in speech, in music, interpersonal meaning in movement, and interpersonal meaning in image and color. The study gives some contribution to social semiotic studies, television, or video advertisement. This paper analyzes multimodal that focus on semiotic system by using Bull and Anstey theory and Van Leeuwen's theory and systemic functional linguistic theory by Halliday. The next is the theories of the research. To describe the interpersonal meaning, the researchers using some theory from some people. First is to describe the interpersonal meaning in the advertisement. There's the research using Kress and Van Leeuwen in 2006 theory. The next theory that used by the research is theory used in the study is a semiotic approach related to a multimodal system, which includes linguistic, visual, audio, gestural, and spatial aspects from Anstey and Bull, Batman and Smith in 2020. Okay, the next is multimodal discourse analysis. Multimodal multimodal discourse analysis is a study in discourse studies to examine text combined with image, color, symbols, and other semiotic search. The text and semiotic research are used to represent meaning multimodal. Multimodal refers to a combination of writing, speaking, visualization, sounds, music, and many others for communication purpose. Multimodal discourse approach feels that different modes are combined together to construct meaning in a multimodal text. Using single theory to analyze multimodal discourse of course is inadequate. The combination of two or more theories is needed to reach a deeper understanding of meaning. Jadi multimodal mengacu pada nilai kebenaran atau kredibilitas sesuatu tentang pengetahuan yang ada di dunia. Ini menurut teori Kress dan Van Leeuwen di 2006. Pernyataan tersebut menunjukkan bahwa hubungan antara tanda dan pertanda memiliki motivasi tersendiri. Bahasa yang digunakan baik berupa lisan, tulisan, maupun verbal dalam media memiliki motivasi tersembunyi dari produsen. Analisis bahasa verbal yang berupa gambar disebut analisis multimodal. Price and Lewin in 2006 proposed a social semiotic method based on Halliday and Matt Hison in 2004 theory for studying visual grammar. The three meta functions adapt and rename in the Price and Lewin method as a representational, interactive, and compositional. The meta function experiential concern the depiction of experience and conceptual relationship between persons, location, and object represent an image. While in their approach, the interpersonal meta function deals with the social piece between the creator, audience, and the depict object. The next is concept of interpersonal. According to the English dictionary, word interpersonal means something that connects with relationship between people. Characteristic of the interpersonal communication is, first, the language used can be formal or informal, using certain media such as telephone, cell phone, and email. Done by two or more people, be open and communicative. So in this study or in this research, interpersonal meaning will be conducted with multimodal in discourse analysis to analyze interpersonal meaning in the speech and sound, image, and gesture in the video advertisement that will be watching and will be analyzing by the researchers. Research design. This research will be conducted qualitatively descriptive using case study to check how different semiotic and modes such as music, sound, speech, color, action, and image work together to build an interpersonal meaning. This study discussed the interpersonal meaning in speech and music, interpersonal meaning in the movement, and interpersonal meaning in image and color. Qualitative descriptive research is aimed to describing existing phenomena, both natural and human engineered, which pay more attention to the characteristic, quality, and interrelationship between activity in the actions. Descriptive research does not provide treatment, manipulation, or modification of the variable studied, but describe a condition as it has. Okay, the next is research instrument. The first instrument used in this study was the researchers herself. It was called so because the researchers now interview people directly. The second instrument was books, journal, and computer. Book and journal are used to collect information about relevant theory. Meanwhile, the computer is just to type the data, watch the video, and make a final research project. In a qualitative study as the primary researchers, all the process was performed start from collecting and analyzing the data until concluding the investigation result. For this study, many instruments were not used as general studies such as observation, questionnaire, survey, or others for completing the surveys because the study only focused on library study in terms of the video advertising. Okay, the next is data researchers. The subject of this research is the Neo Coffee Mochaccino advertisement. In Indonesia television, the subject of this study also to identify about interpersonal meaning used in Neo Coffee Mochaccino ads. This study data source have been from video connect to YouTube, and also the researchers watching the advertisement from the television. Therefore, the data used in this analysis were the narration and the discourse of the video. Okay, the next is data collecting technique. In collecting the data, the researchers watching the video of the advertisement in the TV and from the YouTube, and then analyzing with several techniques. First is recording the data from television and YouTube, and then transcribing it on the paper. After getting the data, the writer analyzes the data to get a conclusion of this research. The next is research procedure. The writer is a qualitative descriptive analytic procedure to obtain more explicit findings. Neo Cafe Mochaccino Indonesia TV advertisement was chosen as a case study in this research. The study's data were in the form of image, text, symbols, sounds, and gesture used in Neo Cafe Mochaccino Indonesian TV advertisement. In this case, Neo Coffee Mochaccino was an advertising beverage product. The next is data analysis technique. In the analysis of research data, the author analyzed the multimodal Neo Coffee Mochaccino advertisement Indonesia. After the process of the data collection was complete, the next step taken was the analysis process. The steps that have been applied to analyze the data were: first, the writer watched a Neo Coffee Mochaccino Indonesian television advertisement. In the analysis of research data, it can be seen from the relationship between object or participant present in an image with other objects outside the image. Second, the author identified the data by watching advertisement again and more specifically of product related to movement, music, speech, and image, to know interpersonal meaning of them. And third, the writer tried to interpret and make conclusion about the result of this research. So, based on explanation that have been conveyed, I will briefly and clearly review the research that I will be doing. The title of the research that I will use is Multimodal Discourse Analysis of the Interpersonal Meaning of Neo Coffee Mochaccino Advertisement on Indonesia Television. Researchers conduct this research as a form of contribution to research on semiotic. The study focused on analyzing the interpersonal meaning contained in advertisement on Indonesian television. The study used the theory of Kress and Lewin in 2006 to describe the interpersonal meaning in the advertisement. This research was descriptive qualitative. Research using case study, the instrument used are researchers themselves and others research such as book, journal, and others. The data in this study were all sourced from the advertisement Neo Coffee Mochaccino on Indonesian television. Researchers collect the data by selecting the advertisement to be analyzed, watching advertisement, and analyzing them with several techniques. Okay, maybe that's all I can describe in my seminar proposal. Less and I apologize. I end. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.